So with that, I would like to do our land acknowledgement very quickly while we wait for everyone else to show up. We acknowledge the people on whose land we live, the Atfaliti Kalapuyans, also known as the Tualatin Band of Kalapuyans, the first inhabitants of Washington County. We are grateful for the land we're on, Kalapuyan land. Signers of the Willamette Valley Treaty of 1855 were removed from their homelands to the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation. Today, their descendants are tribal members of Grand Ronde and Siletz tribes, carrying on the traditions and cultures of their ancestors. We acknowledge and express gratitude for the ancestors of this place and recognize that we are here because of the sacrifices forced upon them. In remembering these communities, we honor their legacy, their lives, and their continuation in our community. I'd like to invite us all to reflect on the role government has played in the painful colonial history and reflect as well on the resilience and healing of the indigenous land and communities. We invite everyone to collaborate and work together with the tribes to take care of the land and water and the people who inhabit these spaces. Thank you to the county and to the tribal people who worked on that land acknowledgement. I very much appreciate it. And I try to stay very aware that we live on stolen land. Representative Helm, we're asking the candidates to keep their videos off until we start up at 7:20, I'm sorry. And Bruce and Carol, if you can keep checking to make sure we've promoted all the panelists. We have a couple of quick reports from our community partners, and I know Corinne has something to report, so take it away, Corinne.
Thank you. I am here with Lieutenant Ed Rawlinson, and we are going to do a very, very brief screen share that is sort of a little snapshot of what we will be presenting on next month for CPO1 on May 10th. So I will let, and I should say, I'm Corinne Haining. I am with the Public Affairs Office within the Sheriff's Department. I should say Public Affairs Department at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. And I am here to partially as the CPO representative. Brenda Schaefer, who you may be familiar with, has moved on to a different department in the county. So I will be continuing to attend CPO1 meetings for a while, but also to support Lieutenant Rawlinson tonight in this brief ESPD update.
Okay, I can't see if I'm showing, so hopefully I am. I'm Ed Rawlinson. I am a patrol lieutenant with the Sheriff's Office, and I have command oversight of your CPO in the areas that we patrol. And so I'm here to talk to you about our Enhanced Sheriff's Patrol District, which the unincorporated urban parts of the county are part of, including Cedar Mill, Cedar Hills, a lot of the neighborhoods. Basically, if you live north of Highway 26, you're probably in our jurisdiction, and we are your police providers. And so we have a levy coming up in May. It is a replacement levy of an existing levy that has basically been in place in one form or another since 1987. And that levy is designed to give you city-level police services in the unincorporated urban parts of the county, which is about twice the number of officers you get in a more rural area because of the crime and the number of people and all those things. This is a 5-year levy. And again, it's been in place for a little over 30 years, and it takes us from about a half an officer per thousand to an officer per thousand. So some of the things it provides, obviously rapid response to 911 calls. We're about half the time of the national average. That's a priority for us. Everyone's aware of the mental health crisis that's been going on. And so we have a two-pronged attack to that, our full-time mental health response team, where we partner deputies with clinicians to help folks in crisis, as well as some crisis intervention training and de-escalation training for all of our deputies that we do through confrontational simulation or scenario-based training. It's a very, it's been a area of emphasis for quite a while. Our mental health response team has been around for about 12 years. It's one of the leading ones in the state and in the country. And so another piece of this is our homeless outreach program, which is relatively new. As that problem is sort of expanding our county, we're trying to meet that from the front and get our deputies trained to help those folks and give them resources. Another issue we've had lately is an increase in fentanyl. And so all of our deputies carry Narcan, and we get extra training in some of those things. And the biggest piece of ESPD is just to make sure that you're getting the same level of policing service that you would in the neighboring cities. And so other pieces of that also are major crimes, our major crimes team investigating homicides, vault burglaries, and then folks like Corrine that come out and help do community education. So if the levy passes, as I mentioned, it's a replacement. It would go from 63 cents per thousand of assessed value to 83 cents. An average homeowner is about $266 based on assessed value, not real value. So in other words, what you base your taxes on. And so for most folks, well, on average, I should say, not most folks, it's about $22 a month. Obviously, you can't buy a house anywhere really for $320,000. So keep in mind, that's the tax rate. So it definitely will change based on assessed value. But it's this 83 cent per thousand is what we're asking for this time. And so that would keep our policing service in line with the population as it grows as well. It's built into the levy. It helps pay for our traffic team and some of the other teams I mentioned earlier. The flip side is if it doesn't pass, that would save you about $18 a month, about $211 a year. Our law enforcement services in the urban unincorporated part of the county would be cut in about half, including some things like our traffic and things like that. I got one sentence left, Virginia, I promise you're almost done. And as well as funding, supporting for about 119 or half of our patrol division. So that's the short version of it. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. And if you have other questions, which I know you do, I would suggest just emailing me and I'll do my best to get back to you tomorrow, or you can call me as well. So that's
Thanks,
all
Lieutenant Rawlinson. We
You're
did
welcome.
have one question for you guys in the chat. We're not going to take it tonight, but if you want to answer it, get back to me or get back to, if you get back to me, I can post the answer on the CPO1 Facebook page.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Do we have any other community partners that want to make a report this evening? I didn't. Oh, yeah. Water.
Virginia, Brian here from Tualatin.
Brian, go Brian.
I'll be real quick.
Thank you.
Wanted to let everybody know that summer registration has opened. It opened on Saturday, April 12th. Activity guides are online or available in print at the facilities. Just to let everybody know that obviously summer is our busiest time of the year with summer camps. So wanted to let everybody know. Tualatin Hills Nature Park, the second and hopefully final sewer construction season at the Nature Park will pick up again in April. This will lead to some closures. Please check our website if you are planning on going to the Nature Center. And then there's some free aquatics training. Tualatin Hills is having some issues with staff shortages. So to meet the community needs for swim classes, the aquatic staff have been training lifeguards and junior guards for free. In the winter, 46 lifeguards and 17 junior guard students participated in the classes. And we have a big need for aquatics instructors, lifeguards, and then also gymnastics teachers. So if you know of anybody that might be interested in a part-time job, please check the website. And then lastly, Cedar Hills Rec Center, which is obviously close to you guys. They have a egg hunt this Saturday. So if anybody is interested, please check the website and enjoy your time at the Cedar Hills Rec Center. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Andrea, you can say your thing real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, we're just reminding people that spring often gets people out digging in their yards and on their property for various reasons. And that can disrupt utility services. There's all kinds of things underground now, fiber, internet, as well as your water, power, and gas lines. So we're asking, it's Dig Safely Month, that you call 811 or get on their website, digsafelyoregon.com, 2 business days before you dig. And I put my contact information as well as those links in the chat.
Great, thanks. Okay, we are golfers. That's funny. Yeah, gophers. Okay, let's see. All right, now we're actually ahead of schedule, which is a really good thing. So a CPO has the chance to appeal a land use decision if we have made a comment about it. And we did make a comment on the Thompson Woods development. And I'm going to share my screen here briefly. Thompson Woods, or Thompson Crossing now it's called. Thompson Woods is up here. Thompson Highlands is down here. The Tualatin Valley water tank is here. This is Thompson Road. And Thompson is one of the few streets that we have that goes all the way to Portland. And this development was proposed many, many years ago. The county committed to realigning this curve using this property. But the owners of the property were asking a lot of money for that small piece of property. And so the county backed down from their commitment to realign the road. This was the intended realignment of Thompson. You can see here on this illustration. Well, now they've submitted their development application. The county has approved it with many, many exceptions, including the recommended site distance, including that the traffic study was done during the middle of COVID. There is not going to be a bike lane through here. And we just think that it's ill-conceived. We are wondering if the county ever looked for additional funding from other sources to be able to buy that property. And so we are proposing to use our ability to appeal the decision. What happens is we file the appeal, and then the county sets up a hearing with a hearings officer. And at that time, we will need to, as I say, line up our ducks and present our case to the hearings officer. But I feel like it's important to ask our members if we should go ahead with the appeal. Now, Vicki is our secretary, and she usually counts the votes for us, but I don't believe she has video this evening. So hopefully we'll figure out a way to count votes. This isn't like we're going to send a letter or anything. This is just having our membership give us an idea that they're in favor of us doing the appeal. So if you are a member of CPO1, and according to our bylaws, that means that you receive our newsletter, the newsletter from the county, whether it's online or whether it's by postal mail. If you receive the newsletter, you're a member. And so we're going to have you use the raise hand button, which is down at the bottom of your screen. If you're in favor of us filing an appeal, and Stacy's there, she's one of the neighbors. Stacy, did you have anything else to add to what I said?
I was just going to say, I think that there might be a bike lane, but that all the lanes in the road that they are suggesting are all condensed.
Yeah, I didn't see a bike lane at all.
So I think in our neighborhood, we're very disappointed that the curve is something that is going to continue indefinitely, that there won't be any opportunity to
Yes, exactly.
widen the road in the future.